The Pat O'Hara Show is sponsored by the River Shack Tavern, 3449 River Road in Jefferson.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Pat O'Hara Show here at the River Shack Tavern. I'm Brandon Rizzuto, your host. And joining me is Pat O'Hara. Coach, great to be here and talking about a win.
It's always good to come to the River Shack on Monday after a win and get some red beans and rice.
Georgia, 55-37, I believe. And Coach, I might have had that backwards, 57-35.
There you go.
It's a win, double digits. Just talk about that win in general.
It was nice to start fast. We lost the coin toss. They deferred. Kicked the ball out of bounds. We get the ball on the 20-yard line, and we just offensively tried to come out right away and attack them, and we did, and came out first play of the game with a touchdown that really set the tempo. Then we got an interception right away, and from then on we led the whole game, played pretty well.
We're going to talk about individual players. I know you don't like to do that, but we'll highlight some individuals. Talk about in between the trenches, though. Your offensive line gave Kurt Rocco some time to throw. We felt very comfortable, and your defensive line got after their quarterback.
I think it was the most solid game we've had with, like you said, in the trenches with our offensive protection of Kurt and our pass rush. I think having Xavier Brown, his first game in the big trade with Chicago, added an element to our pass rush, and I think it also made the other guys on the other side better too, and in the middle with Marlon and Brian and Durandis. So I think his addition sparked everything else up too. So we're able to have good pass rush.
Kurt Rocco, 21 of 24 in the game. He was 18 of 19 through three quarters. Outstanding play.
Well, I guess he can get better though, can he? He can go 100%. No, Kurt had a solid game. Kurt had a very solid game. He graded out probably his highest game. He's graded out. Very efficient. Really was feeling it, and it's because he got going early, I think. And when he gets a rhythm going, you protect Kurt Rocco. He's as good as anybody in the league.
One of the guys that gets lost in the shuffle, and he really shouldn't, is Josh Bush. And that's one of the things that we haven't really talked about is he's having a career season right now, almost 1,000 yards receiving. Talk about Josh.
Josh is a special guy, not just on the field but off the field. He's somebody that is important to me as a person and also as a colleague and as his coach. He brings so much to our team in the locker room from a character standpoint. And really, this is the first year in his career after many years in the league of being an every down player on offense, and he's relishing that. He's taking advantage of it. No one prepares more for their game each week and week out than Josh Bush.
Those two catches from Kurt Rocco in the end zone, those are some beautiful.
Yeah, really well thrown footballs and great route running. And the timing's there. The way Josh practices is exactly the way he plays in the game. And, Josh is he's our oldest wide receiver on the team, but he's got a rod in his leg. He's a guy that comes out, 30 minutes before practice and gets loose. He doesn't take practice to get loose. He gets loose before practice so he can have that tempo, to have that relationship with our quarterback, and it's showing on the field.
Really the ageless wonder. You mentioned his age, and we always joke around with him. I call him old man on the sideline, so always checking to see how the old man is doing. Looking at the defense, though, DeMarcus Robinson really stepped up. So did Alvin Ray Jackson.
It was neat to see DeMarcus have the 2-interception game. Last week against Arizona, Maurice Purify, tremendous receiver, leading the league in points scored per game, points scored period, and had a tough game against DeMarcus and Maurice. And DeMarcus bounced right back though. He had the 2 interceptions the other night. They tried to attack him. He answered the call, and Alvin Ray had 2 more interceptions. He's so tricky in there at that jack linebacker position. He really understands it, and his leadership continues to be a big value to us.
You talked a little bit about Xavier Brown and the addition he's been so far in this team, just one game. He didn't have a sack, but he definitely created a lot of havoc and made his presence known.
He did. His get-off was good, and he was getting to the quarterback. He was forcing a lot of holding calls that we didn't get, actually. But when you're good on both ends, then it helps the other guys out, too. And I thought his addition brought out the best also in our other, our linebacker, our nose guard, our other end. I thought that addition was very special to what we did, and hopefully we can continue down that path.
You also got another solid performance out of Jeremy Kellum, the rookie sensation back there playing in the middle. Talk about Jeremy's game.
Jeremy just studies, and we had Gladale Brutus playing backside corner for Jork Calvin, and the trust and relationship between those three that we had the other night was really solid. And that helps Jeremy not have to worry about what other guys are doing, just what he's doing. And I thought he played a very solid game.
Summarizing the game just in general, how big was that win? Not only a divisional win, but just get that win in general.
He had to have it. You know, you go to 5-7, as tight as our race is in our division, that could have been devastating. We're right back where we need to be now. It is a dogfight now to the end.
You mentioned that division, just another crazy week in it as well.
It's crazy. There's, we're one game out of first place in our division, yet we're fourth because there's, 6-5, 6-6, 6-6, 5-6. So anything can happen. We talk about it every week, and that's what we're trying to get that communicated to our players, that we're right there. I mean, we're still in position where we could potentially win the division. But we got to take care of business this week against San Antonio.
We're talking Voodoo football here at the River Shack Tavern. You're watching on Cox 4. Stay tuned for more Voodoo action coming up next. Welcome back to the Pat O'Hara Show here at the River Shack Tavern. Be sure to come on by the River Shack Tavern this Saturday night from 4 o'clock till whenever the party stops for the 22nd anniversary party. Come before the game, come after the game. We'd love to have you here. Turning our attention now to Alvin Ray Jackson is this week's guest on the show. And Alvin, welcome to the show, my friend.
Nice to be here, Brandon.
Alvin, man, you were here last year through a 3-15 season. Now you're 5-6. Team's positioned itself to make its way to the playoffs. Just talk about all of that.
Oh man, last year was a tough season. First year being here, back here in New Orleans, we didn't do so well, but the fans was great. They was always here cheering us on. And 3-15, 5-6, I'd take 5-6 any day.
Well, you're 5-6 right now with a lot of games left to play, and it seems like you guys are peaking at the right time.
Right now it's nitty-gritty. It's time. Playoffs not far along, and we really got to show what we can do right now. And I'm proud of the guys showing that, hey, look, we're going to be in playoff mode with everyone else.
Talk about the division. Obviously, a lot of the games left are against division opponents. How big is this stretch for you guys?
This stretch is very big. Everybody is at the top. All the cream is at the top right now, and we need some of it to fall to the bottom. And we're trying to stay at the top. And I think with the team that we have, we're getting better each week. I think we can be one of the guys at the top at the end.
You mentioned each week. Let's talk about last week. 2 interceptions in the second half. That was you, and DeMarcus Robinson had 2. I understand you guys like to go back and forth with each other about who's got what and all that good stuff. Tell them about that relationship.
Oh yeah, I tell the guys all the time they got a more easier job than I do because simple fact, they are guarding someone and the ball come to them often. And I just make the best of my opportunity. And, I got the ups on it right now because I lead the team in interceptions, and I plan on finishing the season leading the team in interceptions. But it's actually a healthy competition. I think we lead the AFL in turnovers, and we want to keep doing it. And with that competition, it helps us win, and I want to keep that competition going.
You're a defensive guy, and obviously Maurice Blandon, an outstanding coach. I don't think I've seen a coach watch more film than he does. Talk about Maurice.
Oh, Coach Mo is great. He's great for me. Actually, all these interceptions, all the tackles that I have, he's put me in those positions to make those plays. And even Kellen, he's worked with Kellen. Kellen, as you know, he's a rookie. He's worked with him. He showed that he can turn him into a tremendous player. And that's what Coach Mo does for us.
I know you guys made a big trade from Chicago Rush, got Xavier Brown, and last week didn't have a sack, but he definitely made his presence known.
Oh, Xavier is. I just met the guy a week ago. You just told me his last name. But he's a good dude, man. He came in and he made it easier for everyone else. He made the other guys' job easier because he has great pass rushing ability, and I think he's really going to take us to new heights.
Talk about the game against Georgia. Obviously a big win. Much better being 5-6 instead of 5-7.
Yeah, big win. Georgia was a conference opponent. And we couldn't lose that game. We lose that game, we fall 2 games behind everyone else. We need to stay in the thick of things, and with that win, it helped us do that. And with all respect to Georgia, they're a great team. And but I just felt like we was ready to play, and the guys really are just now understanding how important every game is in arena football.
I know this season's important to you. Last season, you kind of felt you might have been snubbed from the all-arena teams. Talk about that quest to be on that list at the end of the season.
Yeah, everyone want to be known amongst the great. And I think, some good guys made all-arena last year, and I just feel like, they should have made an extra spot for me. But I show them this year.
Alvin Ray, thanks for your time, my friend. Best of luck this week against San Antonio.
All right, thank you, man.
You're watching the Pat O'Hara Show here at the River Shack Tavern. Be sure to stay tuned for more Voodoo action coming up next. Welcome back to the Pat O'Hara Show here at the River Shack Tavern. Just had a chance to sit down with Alvin Ray Jackson. And Coach, I know you tried your hardest to get Alvin Ray to come back after last season. Talk about his overall, his addition to this team.
It was tough getting him come back initially. He had some reservations. To go 3-15 last year and not win a home game, and for him not really knowing who I am and what I'm about. It took a while, and then one day he called me and said, I'm coming back. I believe. And that's what we talked about with our team, Brandon, is believe. Got to believe in what we're doing. And Alvin's become our emotional leader on defense, and he's stepping up with his play. Having that veteran presence there, especially that jack linebacker position, has been key. 2
big interceptions last week for Alvin Ray Jackson, a Como, Mississippi native. I guess we'll claim him. Mississippi's close enough, huh?
Yeah, we'll claim him. We'll claim him.
Talk about the division. We mentioned a little bit in the first segment. Tampa Bay obviously lost to Jacksonville. Jacksonville gaining some ground, but they added Nick Hill.
Yeah, Nick Hill's a quarterback that I had in Orlando last 2 years. So we were able to go to the playoffs both years and even a semifinal. And he's a heck of a quarterback. Just got released from the Green Bay Packers. He's the only quarterback in the league that got an opportunity to go to the NFL, to camp. But he's back. That's going to make it tougher in our division. He came in the other night and had over 300 yards and a bunch of touchdowns. So that makes our division tougher and a tougher task against Tampa later down the road.
Absolutely. I was just about to ask that. Does that make Tampa Bay a more dangerous team?
It certainly does, because they have the personnel to really be a good team, and they are a good team. And their receivers are really good. They're big, tall guys. We call them trees. I mean, they're just fast trees. They just running down the field. And Nick knows how to handle that.
We talked about this last week, and we've continued to talk about it all season. This stretch of games and having all these divisional games lined up. Talk about that. It's kind of like Murderer's Row for the Voodoo.
Well, you get the schedule, and people always say, "Oh, you like your schedule here? You're on the road here." And we get our schedule, we put it up on the board, and we go and play everybody. You can't worry about that. So we've got to play everyone in division twice, once at home, once in away. We still got Georgia again, we still got Tampa again, we still got Jacksonville again, we still got Orlando again. So a lot of divisional games coming up. I'm excited for that. That's our opportunity to try and get into the tournament. And we're trying to position ourselves to be one of those 4 teams that get in the tournament. Once you get in the tournament, anything can happen.
Each and every week we feature a different Voodoo player. This week it will be one of our guys that Coach is very fond of and he's worked with. We're going to see if you can guess it. And Coach, he's a very serious guy, very, very serious. I'm pretty sure you can probably guess who I'm talking about.
Yeah, the most serious guy is probably our quarterback, Kurt Rocco.
Yep, that's it. We'll take you to learn more about Kurt Rocco right now.
Voodoo, running for my magic. Voodoo, running for my magic.
Offensively, we just need to take the turnovers our defense gives us and just convert them into points, stay consistent, score every time. That's what playoff teams do. That's what championships teams do. They score every play or every series. Defensively, we just need to attack the pass rusher, and I feel confident in the future we're going to start doing it. Overall, I mean, even in college, even in high school, I don't know what it is. It's just kind of how I interact with people. I mean, kind of start off slow, and then once I get to know them, I kind of open up a lot. But yeah, I feel like I'm pretty quiet, pretty shy every now and then. But over these last couple of weeks, I've had a few guys come up to me and say, we kind of need you as more of a leader and be more vocal as a teammate and as a quarterback of our team. So I feel like I've been doing that pretty lately. I mean, it should have already been accepted from day one, but I mean, just me, being the quiet guy that I am, I kind of didn't partake in it. I didn't really actually act on it. So now that I've had some teammates actually come up to me and say, we need you to do this, this is what we need from our team, you as being a leader, and that's what I felt like I've been doing. I've heard this is just the start of the brutal heat, and so far I can tell you it's pretty brutal. I mean, we practice in the mornings outside, and it's getting pretty hot out, so I can't imagine what it's going to feel like. I heard in the June, July time. My father owns his own business in Cincinnati. He owns a prosthetics and orthotics business, and I usually work there during the off seasons and stuff. So if football doesn't work out for as long as I hope, and or just after football in general, I'll probably go back and work for him. There are so many songs and so many artists I love, but I like Lil Wayne a lot. I like to listen to him before pre-games. I like a little heavy metal, I like Korn and whatnot. Not a country boy by any means. People think Ohio is all country. That's not true. I live in Cincinnati, but not a country boy. I'll listen to it, but.
Welcome back to the Pat O'Hara Show here at the River Shack Tavern for our final segment. And Coach, we turn our eyes to San Antonio, and what a great football team that is.
They've won 5 straight. They're 8-3, and they've got the greatest quarterback maybe in the history of the game, Aaron Garcia. He's a winner. He's a winner. We had a tough outing against them last time we played them, and really had an opportunity to win, and had a tough time handling their pass rush. So it's going to be a great test.
Talons are 8-3 coming to the graveyard. Coach, is Aaron Garcia. Who else is going to cause problems for the Voodoo this week?
Well, they have a good pass rush, as a whole. It's a bunch of guys, all of them get after it. And the receivers obviously are playing well, and you got Aaron Garcia. So they're just a strong, sound team. They don't have a bunch of big-name guys other than Aaron, but they got a bunch of guys that believe in Aaron. And the same thing that Jacksonville had when they had Aaron Garcia last year when they won the Arena Bowl, they've got that attitude. And Aaron has that ability to bring the most out of people. And that's something that they've been able to do, and they've had success there in San Antonio.
You're also very fond of their coaching, and you've worked with him firsthand, and he had a chance to see us up close and personal last week. Talk about that.
Yeah, their head coach is Lee Johnson. He was my defensive coordinator the last 2 years in Orlando. We've worked very closely together the last 2 years. I'm excited for him. He's got his opportunity to be head coach. He certainly deserves it. And he lives in Atlanta. He was on his bye week, and he was scouting us the other day, and I saw him standing there on the wall, and we kind of had a little bit of a laugh. But he's done a tremendous job.
Coach, the name of the guy slips me, but last time we played them, they had one guy on that defensive line that was really good, and he's no longer there. He's with the Colts, I believe. Does that change their personnel a little bit?
A little bit. That was Jerry Brown. The last time we played, they had Jerry Brown, and we really couldn't block him. Not too many people have, and fortunately the NFL called, and he's with the Colts now. So they have new personnel, but Lee Johnson's a defensive-minded coach that understands that pass rush is what's most important. He's a former D lineman and MAC linebacker in our league. He gets it, and so they have a very good pass rush.
You mentioned pass rush. Let's talk about our offensive line, and had a great game against Georgia. I know they probably graded out pretty high when you watch film today, but talk about Lorenzo, Brad Paul, Patrick Afif, and how those guys are really gelling at the right time. Yeah,
they're starting to really develop as a unit. Brad Paul's first game was last week against Arizona. Did some good things, but had kind of those first game kind of miscues. I thought he really settled down this week, played well. We have a much tougher test. We have a much tougher test this week, and we're going to have to be sound there and protect Kurt.
You mentioned Brad Paul. got a chance to catch a touchdown. A big guy rumbling, dumbling down the field. Talk about that.
He's athletic. You know, he's an athletic big guy, and we kind of noticed it when he came into practice a couple weeks ago, and then last week against Arizona, we threw him a little screen pass, and he handled it well. And you know, during the course of the game, we saw that play was there. We went back and ran, and this time he was able to score.
Coach, as always, best of luck this Saturday night in the Graveyard.
Thanks, Brandon.
Voodoo fans, be sure to come out this Saturday night when the Voodoo take on the San Antonio Talons. Game starts at 7 o'clock. Be sure to be there. You've been watching the Pat O'Hara Show here on Cox 4.